As you get into your first high school classes, one thing that should be obvious fairly quickly is the amount of studying you need to do is quite a bit more than in middle school. In fact, often students coming into conceptual physics haven't had to study at all before they take my class. They're used to getting enough of an understanding during the class period to get high grades on tests and quizzes, and likely have spent little to no time at home actually studying. One big difference in high school is the availability of advanced level classes. And while these classes give students the opportunity to learn more and better prepare for AP classes, dual enrollment, and eventually college, they tend to take a much higher commitment to both homework and studying in general. What I want to do in this video is to run over some strategies to make studying easier and help you figure out the best way to do well in your classes and keep your GPA up. In most higher level classes, you're either required or strongly encouraged to take down notes on what is being taught for the class period. One big mistake that students make is trying to copy down every single word that the teacher has on the board or in the PowerPoint. While it seems like a good idea to get everything down as precisely as possible, often students are so intent on writing that they're ignoring the instructor's explanations. Also, rote copying can be a fairly mindless affair, and sometimes a person can't even tell you what they wrote down 3 seconds ago. It's a much better idea to use shorthand and paraphrase things. For example, in science classes we learn many symbols that are used to stand for different measurements and physical properties. If you know that the symbol for oxygen is capital O, use it in your notes instead of writing oxygen all the time. And don't get too carried away with it. You need to be able to understand what your writing means, but break it down as much as you can. Some teachers will of course be skeptical, but if you can show them that you're getting down the important information and freeing up time to be able to listen to them, they should be on board with simplified note-taking. You also need to try to differentiate between important information and things that are just FYIs. If you're in a geometry class and the teacher has a slide about the number of kids Euclid had or when he was married, you probably don't need to write that down. Teachers like to put in extra information to help you get more of a perspective on what they're teaching. It's not that you should ignore these types of facts completely, but good notes for studying should focus on the important points and not be overly bloated with trivial facts. One of the things that floors me about students is how often I see them spend an hour writing down notes during class, only to put them away when they start working on homework. I have to hold myself back from yelling, "What did you just do all that work for if you're not going to use them?" In fact, when students ask me a question about something we've covered, I'll often point them to their notes and get them to find it there. This kind of seems like a jerk move by me. I'm sure they think it would just be easier if I told them the answer. But if someone tells you an answer, you're much more likely to forget it moments later than if you have to look it up for yourself. This is one of the reasons why teachers are so adamant about not copying your work from someone else. Now, when it's time to study for the test, don't leave your notes in the binder, use them. Read through them, highlight the important points, maybe even type them up on the computer. Every time you look at them, you'll remember more than if you just write them down and forget about them.